Go ahead and kick off.
Okay, you beautiful people across Partner Co Nation. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Big waves to you. Good to see you. I'm not going to shake too much. I'm actually traveling. And that's always interesting when you're out and about with cell phone service. So here's what I want to tell you tonight. And I'm going to be listening because we're all, put it in the comments if you want to scale your check in 2024. Put a 1 in the comment if your goal for 2025 is to scale your check. That's okay. Listen, we all show up to work every day. You go to your job every day. It's okay to want to make money. Who wants to scale their check in 2025? I know I do. I know I want to grow beyond what I did in 2024. You know what? When you give good people money, guess what they go do? More good work. So guess what? We want an abundance of that. So tonight, normally you get to hear from Andrea Rosser, you get to hear from Brent Palmer or other leaders. But tonight we were like, you know what? Everybody is kicking off to scale their check 2025. And, we could sit around and wait till April or May, but why would you do that if you want to really blow up the business? You jumpstart right now in January, you get kickstarted, right? You kickstart your team, you get them jump started. And that's why we're on the road right now. That's why we're traveling right now, all the way through Destin. And tonight, you've got 18 of your top ranked people across all of Partner Co, all of North America. Not only your top people, but your top power rankers in all of North America and around the world. We got a special trip coming up called Bali coming up very soon. And I was blown away of all the names. Oh, yeah, I know the names. So I was blown away with all the names that I'm hearing as qualified for this trip. And I'm just like this happy human when I hear all my peeps going across and going to experience that amazing trip. And then to the Dominican Republic. Oh, but we got a lot of work to do for the Dominican Republic. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So the Dominican Republic, remember, I talked about it. I've been talking about it, but listen, if you're not a senior officer or if you're a senior officer, you can qualify for this trip. Week 2 through week 9, that's 7 pay periods. You've got to qualify for 3 of the 7 as a senior officer. Doesn't have to be consecutive. It can be in any order. And you will have a trip to the Dominican Republic with all of us, right? Who don't want to be on that trip? So it's a lot of fun. I also want to headline. I talked to Dan Colley. I talked to Katie Larson and Lucy West about Destin, Florida. We're going to sell out. We just got confirmation today after the Monday night call that we are just almost probably 100, somewhere around 100 tickets left to full capacity. I share that to say now's the time with you and your team to make sure, find ways. Airbnb, put 10 people in a place together, make the rooms where they're $50 a night, $25 a night, whatever you got to do. This will be a beautiful event. Senior officers and above, we've got a special event for you there. So get the senior officer. You've got till January the 31st to rank advance, to walk the stage, and to be at these events in Destin, Florida. It will be an amazing event. So it will sell out. It will sell out. So don't procrastinate. Get those tickets and get your team's tickets. Find a way. Okay, here's the deal tonight. Listen, I have the privilege to get to work with these people. I just talked to Josh Hubler out of Ohio just the other day. Me and him was talking back and forth. Him and Ashley are such special people. They'll be on the call tonight. But one of the things I get the privilege to do across the country, across North America, is work with all these people, communicate with all these people that you're going to hear from tonight. I know what they're doing in their team. I know their heart for helping people. It's not just about them. If you talk to Haley Lee and Sheila Balkowski that's sitting together tonight, they would tell you they're more concerned about their team getting to the next rank than they are themselves. When I talked to Tanya Phillips today, she's going to share with you what we did today together. I know it's all about her team. Like, yes, she's happy to be CEO. Yes, she's happy to be going. Oh, yes, I don't know if I can share it. Okay. She's happy to be experiencing a lot of trips this coming up year, but it's about her team. She wants her team there. She wants her team right in line. Michelle McKay, same way. I mean, I can go across the board. Here's the thing you're going to hear from them tonight. And here's the thing we got to be quick because we do have 18 and we want to get everybody in. But what me and Andrea was thinking about was if I was wanting to scale my paycheck this year, which I do, I want to hear from the people that are doing the do, that's after it, that's in the trenches, that's growing, that had a huge 2024 and they're jump starting right now. They're not waiting in 2025. Like they're getting after it right now. So that if I know what they're doing, then I can just simply plug and play and start creating action, doing what they're doing for myself. So tonight, we asked them to come on and share what they are doing, at least one thing that they're doing to not procrastinate, to not wait till February, to not wait till March, but act now to scale their check in 2025. And our prayer and goal for each and every one of you on this call is you get the nuggets tonight from these amazing people, these amazing leaders, but then you also take the nuggets and go put it to action because knowledge, wisdom with no action gets us nowhere. Take these tonight from these amazing leaders and go put it to use. Andrea Rosser, I'll turn it back to you.
Well, thank you, Coach. Thank you so much for kicking us off. And it will only let me highlight 9 at a time. And so we have actually 11 because 2 of you are cheating with having 2 people on there. So I love it. Not cheating, but you get the point. So I love that we got you on here and I appreciate that. And my plan originally, because it felt fair, was to go in order of RSVPs. So we're gonna kind of do that because I just happened to highlight these 9 that we got started. So we might go a little bit out of order, but that's okay. I'll tell you, I'm here to shut up tonight. I'm gonna manage the waiting room, and then I'm taking notes because I'll tell you, there's lots of people we can learn from, right? Like we can learn something from everybody. We all can. But who we have on here, and I know there's other incredible, beautiful top leaders that maybe were busy tonight or said they couldn't help for whatever reason. So just because your person's face isn't up here, that doesn't mean that they're not phenomenal as well. But the group that we have here is absolutely top notch. So Ashley Paulson, you are the first person in the upper left. So just so you guys kind of have an idea, I'll give you the 9 that are up here, a cheat sheet. Ashley, then Sarah, then Tracy, Kelly, Tanya, Michelle. Oh, Sheila, let's give them Haley and Sheila. Josh and Ashley, and then Keela will be the order so that it goes with my screen so I don't get confused, if that's all right. And then we'll flip it over and we'll get to the rest of y'all. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being on here. I can't wait to shut up and learn from all y'all tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Super excited to be on here tonight. I love seeing everyone's faces. I love obviously the people who are pinned, but I had to step out and see all of you. So really excited and honored to be here tonight. So as we get started, one of the things that Andrea asked us to do was share 5 things that we're getting started in 2025 with. And it was really simple for me. when we very first ended 2024 and rolled into 2025. It's something that I've put into my business for the last decade. And what I've done, and right, everything you hear tonight are just nuggets. It's value. There's going to be a lot coming at you tonight. So, like, write down nuggets, but then take a few that you can just start implementing, right? And then take the next chunk and start implementing. But something that I've done every single year at the beginning of the year is I've created a Google Doc, a Google document. And what I've done is I've kind of created like a survey, like what their goals are, what's your monthly income, what's your preferred way to build, right? Is it social media? Is it in person? Is it virtual drop talk? Really just getting in alignment with my team, right? Like our goals change all the time. Life happens, we move, we have kids, like life's happening all the time. And so what I did at the end of the year is I sent that Google Doc link out to my entire team. And guess what? I'm the only one who sees the responses. But now I'm going back through and I'm scheduling kind of one-on-ones with them and kind of going through their goals and knowing how I can help them, right? Like we all move forward in different ways. We all love to be seen, but what pushes us forward every day is different. Is it a title advancement? Is it recognition? Is it your why? Is it right? Like everyone's answers are different. And so that's one thing that I always start my beginning of my year with. Send that Google Doc. It's a form. You can create whatever answer or questions you want to on there, right? But it's getting an alignment and getting with that person and seeing where they're starting off at the beginning of the year. So that's one of the things I've been doing. The next thing, most of you know that I moved to South Dakota back in May when it was starting to warm up. It's not so warm anymore. So tomorrow, I shared on the IPA call yesterday when I moderated that I'm going to be heading to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and then up to Minneapolis to be doing some events. Guess what? Yesterday with the wind chill, it was -16. I see all your faces, right? Like we all have the excuses. We all have the junk on why. Like, I don't really want to do that. It's too cold outside. I don't want to do that. I'm too busy. I don't want to do that, right? Like we all have the excuses, okay? I'm not saying it's -16 today, but like that's the weather I'm going to have to be traveling in to go do these events. Why? Because it's important to launch the newest person. So in-person events is definitely something that I'm going to strive to get better at. Here locally, right? Minneapolis is 6.5 hours away. The next thing is I'm encouraging my team. November and December kind of was a lull. You might have had maybe a lull or a not so, you weren't selling so many boxes, right? Because of the holidays and Christmas presents and all that stuff. Really get back to focusing. Really, like the last few weeks, if you put it into high gear and start doing those social media posts, you're going to come out of that lull, right? For every valley, there's a mountain. Like you're going up on top of the mountain right now. So just keep being consistent on that social media. Whether you're selling boxes or drops or not, people are watching. So show up. Okay. Next is one of the goals, especially my team, because they've seen me doing it, is reels. Reels on Facebook, reels on TikTok, reels on Instagram. That might scare you. Guess what? My team sees me doing it and they're like, how are you doing those? Okay. So every Thursday, I do a team training and a team meeting with my team. One of the questions that I had on that survey is, what can I train on Thursday to help you and your team become, right? Like, how can I help you? What can I train on? So a lot of those people came back and Reels was one of them because they see me doing it. They might not be familiar. So I'm going to take one of my Thursday night team trainings and train on Reels. Okay, answer people's questions and that kind of stuff. And lastly, one big focus that I always want myself is to always bring in new team members, but onboarding. Your newest person on your team, doesn't matter if it's level 1, doesn't matter if it's level 20 in your business. Your newest person is the most important person. Someone did a lot of work to get them converted into the system, right? Onboarding for me, I like to get on a Zoom. There's a recording that I have. Walk them through how to do the social media posts. Walk them through how to do the text scripts. Like act that out on Facebook Messenger so they can do it. So that's just a few nuggets that I've kind of been focused on. You hear Brent Palmer say it all the time, right? I've been in business, thank goodness, with Brent Palmer for the last decade. But you have to throw the trophies underneath like your desk for a bit. Like 2025 is a new year. You should have new goals this year. Is it the savings bonus? Is it a title advancement? Is it one of those trips, right? Like really sit down and go through your goals. So I don't want to take up too much more time, Andrea. I know we have a lot of people to go through, and I'm excited to take notes tonight too.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Ashley. I took notes. I wrote down 6 things. You gave us an extra, so that was beautiful. I love it. And guys, I'm going to say this to the speakers. Maybe you're like 3 of those things I was going to say, right? Maybe that was your thing. Say it anyway, because you're probably going to say it a little bit differently than she did, and we're going to hear it differently. And maybe that's a clue too. If 8 out of 10 say the same thing, well, then I better put a big old asterisk on it. So thank you so much, Ashley. Sarah, you are next. Love you, lady.
Hey, Andrea,
Yes, sir.
I just want to say this really quick because this is going to go in somebody's gut tonight or their heart as they listen to this. You're going to sit there tonight and you're going to go, oh my goodness, I am not doing this. I have not got my team involved in this. Let me tell you, you're not a failure. You haven't missed the mark. That is why we're doing this now. That's why we're doing this tonight in January so that you can grab this, so that you can go implement it tomorrow. That's exactly why this call is so important.
Well, thank you for that, Coach. Appreciate it. And Sarah, the floor is yours. Oh, you got to unmute, lady.
You.
There you
Did
go.
I get it? Good.
Got it.
Okay. So I wrote down some things. I actually started while we were on Christmas break into New Year's Day. I guess your wheels are just turning, and I've been known to be known for ADHD, so evidently it is a thing. But I got me a notebook because I'm older than dirt, and I old school, and so this is my way of keeping up. But I printed off all of my names, everybody in my organization. I printed it off. So I've got all their phone numbers, of course. You can do that in your back office clicking on the tree, but God, that's aggravating. So I printed all my stuff off. I'm taking time to reach out to everybody to form that relationship that I overlooked, I guess, or it just happened so fast it didn't happen. So anyway, I've done that. And then I have actually, I love to read, and I read a good bit, but I'm going back through and I'm reading this Beach Money. I can't tell y'all how many times I've actually read this book, but every time I do, it brings up something else. So that's a positive thing for me. And I try my best to be on every training call. And so I'm writing things down in my notebooks. I'm just trying to get it all to click in my head. And so that's how I wanted to kick off my new year. I also printed out the memory jogger. So because why wouldn't you want your friends to be in this with you? Why wouldn't you want to call, but you don't really think about all that at once? And so if you got the memory jogger, it's like, oh my God, I forgot about her or I forgot about him. So that's another thing that I'm doing. And also, it doesn't matter where I'm at, I'm going to talk to somebody. And it may not always be right off the bat business wise, which, that's a turn off, I guess. But at some point, I'm going to somehow it's going to come up. And, hey, what can they do? What is the worst they can do to you when you say, um, hey, I want you in business with me, or would you like to listen to this or whatever? I mean, they're not going to slap you. So I look at it that way. It's like a positive. They're not going to slap me, surely. But, and then, every Sunday, Sunday night, I actually get in there, go to my back office. I do all my posts for the week. And then I've got a little book that I keep up with that I'm writing down little thoughts and stuff so that maybe that'll help me with my daily, whatever it is on your Facebook. you're just adding stuff every day. And also, I think the company heard me. Everybody heard me because, like I said, I'm old school. I love something that I can feel. And so before, we just had that one little booklet. Or, you'd send people to your website, which if they's like me, it was kind of goofy. So I love having this because y'all, why wouldn't you spend that little extra, give somebody a booklet when you're giving them a box of drops, especially if they're local, and say, hey, drops is just the gateway. Why wouldn't you want to sign up to get your extras? And, you know, I'm working it at every angle. So good night, all. Thank y'all. And y'all, the only reason I'm on here, I forgot to say this, but I think it all the time. My team. I mean, they just rushed in and done everything and they support me and I love them to pieces and I'm thankful to be here.
Well, we are grateful to have you, Sarah, and congratulations. I took a bunch of notes, appreciate it. And I think that's a good idea to pull beach money back off the shelf. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. And next up, Tracy Mazurowski. I'm going to learn how to say it, but I don't know. It might take me a minute to learn how to spell it. You're still Tracy M in my phone. But thank you so much for being on here tonight. We can't wait to hear from you.
Well, it's Mazurowski, and it gets butchered a lot. So you did great. But thank you very much for inviting me. And I always you asked for 5 things for the new year, and I'd always do an inward look. So I also enjoy acronyms. So that's the route that I'm going to give you tonight. But my word for 2025 for myself first, because, we have to work on us first. And then for my team is the word focus. And the acronym, because you need to understand that your current situation is not your destination. It's your preparation for your celebration. So in your mind, you've got to focus and fuel your dream. So the F is fuel your dream. What is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? And for me, it's multiple reasons, but number one was health. And I want to share that with my friends and family and my team. I want them to focus and fuel their dreams. And, the O is to optimize my time, how important our time is, to prioritize the things that I need to do daily to better myself and then help my team to also optimize their time. But then as we optimize our time, we will optimize our lines. So that is the goal, and optimize is a big one. C stands for cross-pollination. Now, in the plant world, which we have, the plant-based health, when there's cross-pollination, you take pollination from 2 plants to create something fresh and new. So my advice and what I am personally doing, I am taking a little bit from Brett Palmer, a little bit from Andrea Rosser, a little bit from Dr. Crystal, and I'm cross-pollinating to make a better Tracy and a better team. And so for me, the cross-pollination is very important. How many know I don't want to just create in my team more of me? I want them to be even greater and do greater things. So the cross-pollination is the big one for me. The U stands for understanding. I worked for 15 years in customer service in the beauty industry. And one thing I found out very quickly is that the customer is always right. And so when we put that understanding out there and we have a heart to listen to the people and their needs and their goals, our customers, that's a big goal for me this year, to really have the empathy of what they might be going through. If they tell me the drops aren't working for them, then we go deeper and we find out what maybe they aren't doing right, add some other products to it. So that is another one, understanding and making sure that the customers are all happy. And the S stands for the system of growth. For me personally, why reinvent a wheel that works? The system of growth has worked for me. I've been in the business 9 months and I've made over 55,000 in commissions just from the system of growth. I've never been in a business like this before. So I remind myself constantly, don't try to fix something that's not broke. I've had brand partners come in and try to do their own thing because they had a different system and they're on the sideline now. So my advice is to make sure you are doing what your leaders teach you. And Brent Palmer and Dr. Crystal have been incredible. Tara Stewart. I just am so thankful for the system of growth, and it has just blown up my business. And if you will just submit yourself to your leaders, you'll do the same. And that's it, Andrea.
That was powerful, Tracy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm having a hard time here. Thank you for whoever's helping me with the waiting room, because I keep having my head burrowed in here. So I appreciate that. Beautiful job, Tracy. Thank you. And congratulations. That's very impressive. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. So next up, we have the one, the only Kelly Chun. The floor is yours. And you will have to unmute.
There we go.
There we go. Good job.
So first of all, thanks for including me. I feel a little unqualified, honestly, among these other leaders, but I thank you all for thinking of me and including me. I have given some thought into 25 because I am so excited about it. I feel like we are in a window of time where we are going to rise up in a way that we are not even fully prepared for. So I'm doing my best to get the wheels on my bus, because this time last year, I was getting ready to join this business. On this particular date last year, I'd never heard the words partner co. But God knew what I needed and what was to come. And so I too am reading this year. And one thing I'm reading, I'm fascinated with the science of these products. If y'all know me well, I am a nerd. So I'm fascinated by the science, and that's where I really dig in. But I know that will only take my business so far. I'm a nurse practitioner. So business is probably my weaker point. So I'm actually reading as well, and it's Business Secrets from the Bible. If you've not read this, I recommend it. There's no better book for instruction in life, right? So than the Bible. And so to take business nuggets from that is huge. So that's what I'm reading to start my year off, to get the wheels on my bus. Because when I joined this business last year, and this was leading into my other tips, it went so fast. It just went so fast. And so I lost the wheels on the wagon because I lost people to follow up. And I would say that I'm embarrassed to say that, but I'm not. I know that it is universal for so many. And we're also proud of the success we've seen. But when we get back to the heart of why we're here to help people. And I feel like there's some people out there that I did not serve well during that time. And so one of my goals that I'm doing to kick off my year is I'm reaching back to those people. I'm reaching back to those droppers that came in with excitement, and I failed to serve them as well as they deserved. And so I'm going back to those people and reaching out to them and saying, give me a do-over, because I've learned so much. I was brand new at the time. And generally people are understanding of that. And so I'm trying to recoup those people into my business. I have learned a tremendous amount, and I do think I can serve them better and hopefully convert them over into partners this time and help them better in the business to start as well. The other people I'm reaching out to are people who have come in with wholesale memberships. Guys, what we have in our hands, so many of those people need. A lot of those people came in as a wholesale buyer to get the products at the deepest discount. Ding, ding. They cannot afford the products ongoing as long as they want them at full retail price or at my retail price, right? So they could benefit from the income of this business. And they don't know what we have unless we tell them. They don't know what we have unless we tell them. So we've got to go and share that with them. So I'm going back to those people as well. And my word this year is thrive. I'm going to thrive in 25. So I'm actually doing a drop talk next week in my hometown. And the name of it is Let's Thrive in 25. So I think when we talk about thrive, I think that's a multifaceted word. It is health and wellness. It is feeling good in your own skin. It is having energy to thrive and live your best life among your family and friends. It is having the energy to share all of this with other people. It's also thriving at home and in your finances. So let's all thrive in 25. Another thing I want to do is taproot down to people in my downline that are working. If they have shown any interest, I want to work with them. Not that their sponsor is not, but as Brent says, I need to know the color of their carpet and I need to know the names of their pets and their children. And I failed people to some degree in that this first year because it was moving so fast. Not to take the blame off myself. I own that, but I think I can do better. And so that's my goal also in 25. And then one more is I want to build up leaders. I don't necessarily want to be the person on the call. I don't want to be the one on the stage. I want my people on the stage. I want my people getting the recognition that they deserve. I wouldn't be where I am without them, and I want to do it alongside them and push them up the ladder. And so in doing so, I want to serve my frontline leaders well, because they're the ones that have trusted me personally. And I do not take that lightly, and I treasure them. And many of them, when I called them about this business, I said, I want you to do this with me because I love you. And I don't want them to ever doubt that where I am and that I'm always cheering for them and in their corner. And I would rather them be on the stage than I. And so let's thrive in 25.
Oh, Kelly, I couldn't write fast enough. So that was powerful. I'm going to have to catch the recording already. So thank you so much for that. That was fantastic and well deserved. You deserve to be on here, and you've got a lot to teach a lot of people. So thank you. So next up, we have our very own Tanya Phipps. So if you would take over the floor there, lady.
Well, you know what? I am at least happy that I'm at the first of the list and not the last, because you're exactly right. You know, as a leader, we all have the same thing. And it's like, I need to be better here. I need to be better there. And so here's some of the things that I'm going to do. We really actually started it at the end of at the end of the year. And so some of my leaders and we've been getting together on certain nights of the week, either by phone, by not really by Zoom, but or in person, and been reaching down to our team members that maybe we hadn't heard from for a while, or somebody that we may have thought, hey, maybe we didn't onboard them right. And so we've been reaching down and reaching around, calling some of the people on our team and getting them involved more and helping them out. So, you know, that is some of the things that we're going to be doing and continuing, not just, you know, once or twice, but on a weekly or bi-weekly time, is reaching down, seeing who we can grab and pull up with us. Today, my great mentor, Mr. Brent Palmer, reached out to me and he said, hey, I've got 2 hours I can give you. Do you have some prospects on your team that we need to see? And I said, we'll reach out. So we were able to capitalize on Brent's time today. And I do have a picture that I'm going to be posting in Partner Co Nation, and of some of the team members that I gave them a challenge. I'm like, who has a prospect? Who wants to get somebody in front of Brent Palmer? This is huge. And so several of them said, me. And, you know, our great friends were able to get some of their friends in front of Brent. And it was a very successful 2 hours. You know, I live in the country, so I always have to sit in my car so I can have focus. So this is my office. So I have internet, but sit in the car for 2 hours talking to Brent. One would come in and we'd get off the phone with them, go straight to another. So it was amazing. And we're going to do more of those, watching the leaders do that and seeing what they say. My kickback is on what happened today is I'm going to slow down. I'm a very fast pace, a little bit of that ADHD that we've been talking about. So I've got to slow myself down, watch my words, and really be intent on what I say. So that's very exciting. With me teaching dancing and having to go really, really fast, that's the way I work. I work really fast. So I'm going to slow myself down, calm down, and talk with purpose. And here is another one. My goal this year is to help at least 10 people on my team reach the rank of senior officer or above, because it's not about you, it's about someone else. And just like Brent said earlier, we want to help other people. If you have that heart, that servant heart, that's what you want to do. It's not about you. And this is another one of mine. My tips is 15-minute intervals. That goes along with my ADHD. The sections of time, maybe you don't have a whole hour to spend on your business on Monday, but you have 15 minutes. So use that 15-minute window to make it successful on what you're going to be doing that day. And sit down with your people and be successful and teach them how to use their 15-minute windows. And I guess that is about it. I have a whole bunch here I can list. Oh, wait, there's two more. Well, really one, but it goes into one. Two that goes into one. So here on the IPA yesterday, I heard this, or maybe the day before yesterday. Write your why, and I added write your goals, set them in an alarm to where they go off at least once a day or at least once a week, and that you read your goals and your why every single week or every single day. I thought that was a great tip. So there you go. I hope that was okay.
That was fantastic. Congratulations, Tanya, on everything that you're creating. Thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. So Michelle McKay, I think I condensed. I was trying to hurry. Michelle McKay, the floor is yours. Thank you so much, lady.
Thank you. I've never been called Mikkel before, so I like it. I think I do like it.
Creative. I'm creative.
Well, I can't say that I have 5 because Andrea knows my heart, Brent does too, and probably most people on this call, that I believe that 2025 is going to be an epic year. We had an amazing year. Would you not agree? Everybody on this team had an amazing year. I'm seeing Sheila, Haley, Keela, everybody that I can see your faces right now, Cynthia, Dr. Crystal, amazing year. So we've got to look into 2025 and find out it's not going to look the same as 2024, right? We know that. We know that. So I know everybody has said a lot of us have lacked in follow-up, me included. Y'all, we were running so fast, like Haley said, with our hair on fire, and we we missed a lot of follow-up. So if we are following the amazing mentor and coach that we have in Brent Palmer, he has a list of what we should be doing every day. And if you're making notes, this is Brent's list, not mine. I'm just following the leader. I'm just being a great student, right? So let me give you the list so y'all can write it down if you haven't gotten this, and then I'm going to talk about it. So number 1 is find prospects. Number 2 is inviting. Number 3 is presenting. 4 is follow-up, and that's a big, big part of what I'm going to talk about. 5 is closing, 6 is duplication, and 7 is teaching others. So that is the most important list, and I love that Brent made that for us, and that he's breaking that down on YouTube. So if y'all hadn't seen it, y'all go look at it. But my focus is for everybody that we have not converted to a brand partner. That is who we need to focus on. So if you're trying to find prospects, that is your lowest hanging fruit. Everybody here has sold hundreds of boxes of drops. Have you converted every single one of them to brand partners? If you had, no one would be concerned about 2025, I can promise you. So I would say if you want to sell another 200 or 500 boxes of drops, go ahead and do it. But I want to focus on building an army of people that will sell 200 to 500 boxes of drops, right? Because I am going to leverage my time so much more by building a team, an army of people, like Brent or Andrea calls it, worker bees, that are going to be doing the same. So who better to do it than the people who love our drops? So I am focusing on following up, getting those droppers on a 3-way text, just like we talk about in the boards and in our text scripts. Get them on a text script or a text thread with your 2x2. Cynthia's mine. So a lot of times, and we do a lot of training on this, y'all, a lot of times I'm putting those people on a 3-way text with Cynthia. And why? Because we're bragging on them. And y'all know this is foundational. We've all been taught it, but I think it's so good to focus on it. We want to brag on them. Who else brags on them? So who would love for Cynthia Bolden to brag on you, right? So let Cynthia Bolden brag on my people. And then we're developing relationships. That way we can move them to a call or a Zoom. And how much better are our chances of converting them to a brand partner? Because who wouldn't want Cynthia Bolden as their leader, right? So we're spoiled in that sense, okay? But y'all, everybody can do this. This is a gift. I love what Kelly Chun says about serving people and how in her clinical knowledge, y'all, we're in the middle of an epidemic. Everybody needs our drops. These drops are a gift. And so finding prospects to me is simple because we got them right in our pocketbook. We've got our droppers, right? So get them on a 3-way text, get them on a 3-way call, get them on a Zoom. So just like Tanya talked about, I'm following the leader. Brent told us yesterday, set up, if you're not in a location where you can be doing talks with people every 30 minutes, set up Zooms. Set up Zooms, because that way you're just getting them done every 20 minutes. So that's what I'm reaching out to my leaders and to my directs and saying, hey, have you got some folks you want to put on a Zoom with me? Let's get them on a 3-way text first. Open the door just like I'm teaching just right now. Let's get them on a 3-way text, start the relationship, then get them on a Zoom with me. And we're scheduling those tomorrow and Friday. So I'm setting up times for that right now. And then we're going to convert them to brand partner. Okay. So, and y'all, once you get on a conversion call and use the side deck presentation, y'all, who doesn't want to save money on their drops? So this is all foundational. So that is how I am following up this week and into January and offering this to every one of my brand partners, every one of my directs, and anybody that wants to put people on calls with me. So if we were talking about inviting,
Sorry.
Do you need me to stop?
Well, this was a TikTok, so we've got a lot to get through.
That's
So
it. So that's the finality of mine, because that's the focus of my 25.
But it was phenomenal information. I'm being loving with that. I wanted to hear more, but I do want to hear from everybody.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Michelle. Greatly appreciate that. So Haley, Sheila, you guys can decide who goes first, but y'all are up next.
It's you. Oh, great. Well, let me go to my list. The first thing that I would say that I feel like is important for me, and I'm encouraging my team to do this as well, is to reflect on 2024. You need a list of things that you're grateful for that Partner Co. has provided for you and your family. And so make a list of all the blessings that you feel like have come out of Partner Co. since you've been a part of it. I would also tell you to write down how much you've been paid, whether that's from the company or whether that's drop money, because you'll be surprised when you put those two together, what has happened in a very short amount of time. And there will be days or weeks or months that you feel like, gosh, you know, Brent said it this weekend, is this as good as it's going to get? You know, you've got to have an attitude of gratitude. And I think that to stay focused on what has happened versus thinking about and letting your mind spin to the negative of what hasn't happened is really important. Then the rest of these are in no certain order. I would say that the second thing though is about my team. I think that most of you know how much Sheila and I both love our team, all of our leaders. It is about them. And so I want to do a better job of serving this year. Like Kelly said, we were kind of drinking from a fire hose last year. And so I really want to do a better job of reaching down to not only my directs, but down every layer or level that I have in order to really plug into those people and figure out what their goals are for 2025. We're putting a huge emphasis on the savings bonus. Sheila and I have both earned that, as well as some others, and we've got several that are very, very close to earning that bonus. And we're going to have tons of those people earning this year. And we're just super excited for that. But we're going to make that kind of a team goal, you know, if you will, that is available to everyone, and everyone can achieve that. We're always looking for wins here, and that's a big win. The next thing is events. We've always heard you've got to show up to go up. And so you've got to stay plugged in. And I use this analogy a lot, but every day we recharge our cell phones. And so you've got to stay plugged into your source of partner co, whether that's the IPA call, whether that's the Connect events, Super Saturdays, Drop Talks, you know, plugging into your sponsor. You've got to stay connected, because there are so many people that we don't have time to reach down every single day to be able to grab you up and pull you along with us, right? Like we want to, but we need you to take the initiative in order to stay connected as well. The next thing I would say is active recruiting. I'll be honest, the last few months, I have not recruited as many people because, again, we've been drinking from a fire hose. And so I've got to go back to the drawing board and establish leaders in different markets and get back to my own personal recruiting. And I would encourage anyone to do the same. We are looking for leaders in 2025. And then the last thing is serving people. I love to serve people. I'm passionate about people. And whether that is from a customer perspective or from a wholesale buyer who's just here for the discount, or whether that's truly somebody that's wanting to build the business, I want to serve people well this year. And for example, I have started sending a weekly email to people whose subscriptions failed. And right after this call tonight, I actually have a Zoom with a woman whose subscription failed last weekend. And she was part of my email list. And so I sent, this blanket email, if you will, to the people whose subscription failed. And she responded and said, I recently lost my job, and now is probably not a good time for me to buy more product. And so I said back to her, I hadn't even looked in the tree yet to see who she is, where she is, anything. I said, is now a good time for you to consider this business if I could show you how to turn over fairly quick profits? And she said, yes. So then I did go look for her in the tree. And what I found is she's someone who has only purchased one box of drops at a time, and her sponsor is not active. So I don't even know if she knows that there's a business opportunity attached, but we're about to Zoom with her here in a little bit. It's just finding people like that within your organization. Everybody's life changes over the course of 90 days to 6 months. And so you need to meet them where you are, where they are, and be prepared to share the business with them.
Well, that's
Love
excellent.
that,
So,
Haley. Thank you. Sorry, Sheila, go ahead.
okay, no, go ahead and give your accolades. I don't want to deprive her of accolades.
No.
Well, Haley, beautiful, great information. Thank you so much. And Sheila, the floor is yours.
All right, let me say this before I read my 5. We did not actually go through our list together. So it's kind of interesting as I heard her talking, I said, they're going to think we compiled our list together, but we really didn't. But I'll start off with kind of what I had on the list. And maybe part of this is because I'm going through a house remodel, a kitchen remodel. Thank you, Partner Co. I've not had a dishwasher in 12 years. Thank you, Partner Co. But anyway, the first thing I had listed on here was getting organized, but prioritizing. So actually the focus actually is more on prioritizing. That means specifically for me, scheduling out my week, my month, and this year I'm thinking about quarters, like quarterly ideas, because last year it was like living day by day, pajamas and in pajamas at the morning Zoom and still at Zooming all day in pajamas, like there wasn't time to think about quarters. But being clear about the hours when I'm working, but also the hours that I intentionally need and want devoted to family or just personal downtime. Because the truth is, we're all much more productive if we back out a little bit, get ourselves renewed, and then step back in. We're actually much more effective. The second thing I had was presentations, 3 to 5 days a week. Brent's been preaching that, and it's a winning list item, right? So I'm working on that, but also not just planning them and speaking personally, but actually trying to coordinate, encourage team members to step up and lead, which you've heard a lot of people already say that, but with assurance that I'm going to guide them. Okay. I'm not going to say, here's the deck, you're off to the races, see you in a month. Can be like that. Another one for me, what we've all said is following up. There's we've all said that this year for sure. The next one was actively recruiting, sharing the business. And I really like what I've heard. I think I've heard several people say building with purpose, but by design and intentionally. And so the same, since we worked really hard last year, we really felt responsible to help lead people, because especially what's been a beautiful thing with this Partner company is that because we had a system of growth, I had people we both had people that had never done the industry. Mm-hmm. So that requires, some more time spent with those people. You know what I'm saying? And you love it when you have experienced people come in. You love it if they're coachable, right? That they don't think because we had to really lay down and trust what our leaders were telling us. So it's really fun working with a new person. That makes me the happiest. It truly means the system of growth is real. Like it really works, right? Because it's got to be duplicatable for a person who's never done network marketing. And the last thing was about serving, but keeping my focus on serving others. And this is what I had written down the way I say that. I want to daily wake up with an attitude that I'm searching for people that are looking for change in their health and their finances. The other thing that I focus on, I refuse to allow the past to creep into my new life here and rob me of what God has planned for me and those people that I'm going to encounter. So it is by design that people cross our paths when they do. And it's up to us if we're in touch with ourselves, with our company, with our team, with our leaders, with our God, that we're not going to miss the people that come our way. So that's mine for the year.
Well, I love that, Sheila. So incredibly powerful. And Josh, Ashley, thank you so much for being on here. You guys are up and appreciate.
First
Thank
of all,
you, Joey, for that.
I just want to say what an honor this is to be on this call. Seriously, mind is blown.
I saw everybody's photo and I'm like, are you sure they picked the right people to be on this thing?
Right.
We did. We are very sure. We're honored to have you share with us.
I remember we've only been doing this since mid-March of this past year. And I remember right after we joined Partner Co, we sat in Columbus with Dr. Crystal and Brent. And Brent was going over a little bit of the comp plan with us because we've never done anything like this before. And he was saying, how would it feel to make, you know, an extra $200 a week or $2,000 a month? And we're like, that would be life-changing. And here we are, like, so amazingly blessed by this company and so honored to be here.
All because Brent gave up his lunch break
Yeah.
to talk to us. So thank you, Brent.
We do have 5 things. The first thing I want to mention is we want to empower our team. As most of you know, leaders typically rise to the top. You can identify leaders almost immediately in your team and on your team. And so we want to, you know, we don't want to have to carry the whole load of the whole team all the time. So we want to empower our team. How do we do that? We get them involved. We get them involved in the trainings. We get them involved in the drop talks. We get them involved in 3-way calls. We have one of our really, really good brand partners that we love recently came to us with an idea of an incentive for the team to get the team to grow quickly. And so we're like, she asked us if we wanted to do it. And we're like, yeah, but how about you run with it? And she is. And so we think that's really important for our team specifically in 2025 is just empowering the leaders, identifying the leaders and empowering them. The second one is actually something that Dr. Crystal went over with us the last time we saw her. We've been going down our downline, not just people that we have sponsored, but maybe most of them we've never even met in real life, person to person, but we're reaching out, we're identifying the people that really want to work this business and take it further. And we're reaching out to them and doing one-on-one Zooms with them and then them and their teams and seeing exactly how we can help develop them and help pull them across the finish line, so to say. And we've seen that to be pretty beneficial. We're super excited because we are now working with a team in Canada and we have like literally no knowledge. We just had a Zoom tonight with Reese Antley about Canada and our minds are like, but we want to learn and we want to empower our leaders and activate those partners who may be 100, 200 people down the downline, activate them and build the business stronger.
And that leads into number 3. I mean, knowledge is power. We know that. And we can't lead unless we know or at least have the desire to get that knowledge. We can't. Why do we do Zooms? I mean, Brent, I was just on, did your 6-minute video on presentation today. I had 6 minutes to do it. I hopped on your YouTube channel. And it was a great opportunity to learn. I see everybody's videos and I'm stealing information. And that's what's great about this is that there's no upline, downline, the lines are blurred and we can all truly learn from each other, which is absolutely incredible, amazing to do. So having that knowledge and that desire to grow is very, very powerful. The thing that I've got number 4 with kind of a lot of people have kind of reference to it is that we've all failed. We've all failed in 2024 in different areas. And I'm not saying like drastically, but we've dropped the ball, so to speak, right? And so 3, 4, 5 of us, I think everybody's kind of indicated somewhat. But the great thing is that we can clean up the basics. So I love to coach right now. I'm coaching one of my kids in basketball. And so you can be they want to learn how to dribble between the legs, do all that stuff. But like, listen, it comes down to 3 things. You need to dribble, you need to pass, you need to shoot, and you need to be good at that. And if you mess up and you focus on too far of things, you got to come back to the things that are so important. And it's cleaning up those basics, because if you do it, then your team's going to follow you. So how I tell my kids all the time, I'm never going to ask you to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. So how can we ask our team, my light just went out, sorry. How can we ask our team to do something if we ourselves aren't doing it ourselves? So, and then number 5, it's a mindset. And really a mindset of consistency. It takes little bit every day. I preach this with my patients. You're not going to get where you need to be all in one session. You're not going to get there where you need to be in 2 sessions. It's going to take consistency, time and time, because what happens is we think that we need to have all this information. We need to learn this business. We need to learn the products, partner code, everything all right now. we can't. We're going to fail. We set ourselves up for failure. So what we need is we just need to be consistently doing things each day. If you make one good decision every day, you're heading the right direction. You don't have to spend 24 hours of your day doing this. 15 minutes was referenced before. You can do more, but at least do one good decision each day. And by the end of December of 2025, you're going to see some amazing things. That's it. That's all we got.
Oh my
guys.
gosh. Well, you had a lot. So thank you both for bringing your wisdom with us tonight. And you absolutely belong here with us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And
And
Keela,
Andrea, this
oh
is
yeah.
tough when you've got all these people and you're asking, listen, but this is a master class in itself. And, you know, I'll say this, it takes time to go to the top. Like it's not, it takes learning, it takes growing, it takes sitting in something and going, all right, I'm gonna lock in. It's not a quick way to the top. Tonight, you're getting a lot of nuggets from different people. So feel free if you got to jump away and go to the bathroom or go to bed, but we're gonna roll through these next 6 people and get their nuggets and get this recorded and out to everybody. It's super powerful and well worth it.
Thank you for that, Coach. And Keela, the floor is yours.
Okay, I am, like everybody else is saying, so honored to be here. I really can't believe that I'm here with all these people that I just kind of idolize. I didn't even know what Partner Co was this time last year, and I can't even believe how it changed my health, our family, finances, friendships. So the things that I look through that I want to do, as Haley said, we were drinking from the water hose, selling boxes of drops. I did not follow up like I should have with a lot of my droppers. So I've been talking to my team. We're all going to be going back and visiting with the people who bought that box and just, and just say, look, we dropped the ball. We didn't really know what we were doing, and just be honest with them. And I think they'll respect that. And we're going to see if we can reinvigorate some of them and coach them to get results so we can sign them up as partners. Another thing that I want to do is to try to figure out a way to refresh my online brand, social media. And one way that I've thought about doing that is to do some Facebook Lives, because that is not the norm. And I think when they see that Keela White is live, maybe they'll just pop over there and see what I'm going to say. So that's something that I'm working on, is getting up the courage to do that. So if y'all see me pop up, peek at it, send me some hearts or something to encourage me. I'm also working on doing videos. I posted a couple to TikTok. So I'm hoping TikTok really does not go away, because I kind of like it now. And I want to keep doing that. I've gotten some positive feedback from those videos. Strategy sessions. That was one thing that my team and I had did was get together on some Zooms, one-to-one conversations, and just come up with strategy, because you can brainstorm off of each other, piggyback on their ideas, and you're a lot stronger whenever you work together on just coming up with something to do. And my fifth thing is that I want to seek out new networking opportunities so I can do active recruiting, ways to connect with people that are not in the normal people that I see every day, that are not Partner Co people, and just focus on that. So thank
Ah,
me share.
You know, I want to jump in. Everybody on here has this ability, you and your team. Those customers that never upgraded to brand partners, they're all prospects for you and your team. There's tens of thousands of them out there. Here's the conversation. You pick up the phone, you call the customer that hadn't been a brand partner, and you say, oh my gosh, I know we haven't talked in 3 months, but I want to update you on what's going on. We had major growth this year. We're now into looking as we scale from a $350 million company to $1 billion company. We're looking for leaders. Here's what I would love. I would love for 15 minutes for me, you, and one of my partners to get on a Zoom and just, it might be for you, it might not. Take 15 minutes. Guys, you could fill up all day, every day, you and your team, if you would go after these customers
that are not brand partners and quit telling yourself all these things in your head about why you can't reach out to them, and pick up the dang phone and get after them. And watch what happens to the explosion in your business. And Keela, that's what y'all are going to do. That's what you were just talking about. It's wide open for all of us to go grab. And we've got thousands of customers that are leads to new brand partners in our business. And then they grab the system of growth, and watch what happens with 2025.
Boom, love it. Thank you. All right. So thank you, Keela. Appreciate you. And next up, we have Summer Simons. Thank you, Summer.
Okay. Hey, super excited to be here, and I'm gonna try to talk fast, which I kind of do anyway. But number one is Brent Palmer has taught us walk with the tongue in our shoes, not the tongue in our mouths. And he is the best example we have of that. He goes and does what he says he's going to do. And so my job is to try to keep up with Brent. He actually kind of gets on my nerves at how consistent, and I mean, like, he is a well-oiled machine. And if we could all have just a little fraction of Brent Palmer in us, we're all going to be sitting pretty by the end of 25. Second is that I am working on collaborating cross-line. Like, this company is unparalleled in the industry, working cross line and collaborating. So I'm doing a Super Sunday with Sheila and Michelle McKay a week from Sunday. And then all of these reels and videos that we're doing live on Facebook, sharing stories and crosslining, is really just helping our social media platform just explode. And it gives you a different voice on your platform. So if I interview Dr. Crystal, people know Summer Simons is nowhere near doctor quality. But when I can bring Crystal in, it gives a total different voice to my audience for them to experience. The third thing is, I do not know these Hooblers, but I love them. If I said their last name right, the coach thing totally came to me because I'm coaching 6U and 12U boys right now. It is totally different from girls, but the basics is where it's at, y'all. I'm going to continue to run the SOG system twice a day. I am incorporating at least a third, maybe fourth or fifth post throughout the day just to ramp it up as many days of the week as I possibly can, being as busy as I am. But I'm also going to continue to promote the promotions, whether it's Destin, whether it's PXP in Dallas, whether it's a Super Saturday, whether it's Brent's Call, whether it's the Body Balance Challenge. Right now, I am pumping that through my customers, through my team. We had new people losing 14 pounds, 5 pounds, 7 pounds, because if I can create an army of billboards through social media, holy smokes, y'all. Like, that is insane what we have our hands on. And if I can create the billboard, it's real easy for them to post and be excited and draw their warm market in. The next thing is I'm going to get better at onboarding. So I've had powwows with Andrea, Michelle McKay, Brent, and it's like, I want my customer regiment to transfer over into my brand partner regiment. And I've got it broken down into what I'm going to teach them week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, so they do not get lost in the shuffle. Like, I'm going to hold their hand, just like I do that little 6-year-old in there when I'm teaching him how to get dressed, how to brush his teeth, how to get ready for school. Like, I've got to do that with my babies. And then the last thing is, on December 31st, I shared that I went back and read in my planner my 2024 her, and everything I wrote down I wanted to accomplish in 2024. And it was crazy out of my list how many of those little things got checked off, like, a 10K bonus, like some trips. And I was like, whoa. And so I sat on December 31st and I manifested 2025 her. And it's in my planner, and my planner goes with me everywhere because I'm a paper girl. I don't do the digital. I cannot keep up with it. I've got to look at it. And so even if you did not write down your goals and your dreams, it's never too late, but you have to be specific. How are you going to walk in a room? How are you going to talk to people? What are you going to do with your social media? Do you want to get your 10K savings bonus? Y'all, I got that at Christmas while I was on a cruise. Anything here is possible. And then yesterday they called me and offered me a trip to this really exotic place that's a little 4-letter word. And I am I mean, literally, my face is still doing that. Anything here is possible if you want to go get it, but you've got to be specific in what you want. And my vision board, I wake up to it every morning. So that is my 2025. That's a few of my goals. So
Well, congratulations, lady. That's huge and great information right there. And Karen Wilkes, the floor is yours, lady.
All right, fantastic. So like many of you, our team is going to start out with just simply mastering the basics. So to me, that means becoming proficient in enrolling brand partners, consistently following the proven system of growth, becoming familiar with the website as well as the back end. So there's a lot of opportunity there, especially the reports. Our team does not use the reports in a real effective way right now. So it's a goal for us in 2025, as well as the smart links and the 7-day launch and using all the collateral that's on board. So I'm always going back to my team and saying, did you know there's something new out there? Don't overlook and don't assume that if it's not out there, because there's so much amazing things out. The next thing that we're going to really focus on is knowing our product. So having a solid understanding of how the drops work, the ingredients and the benefits. We're going to be watching videos, attending product training. I'm trying to let the team know they don't need to be a Dr. Crystal. They don't need to be a Todd or a Brent, but we do need to be able to speak confidently and with authority about our product. So that is going to be on our list for 2025, as well as supporting each other. So really be working on building a culture of mutual support, including learning and growing together, supporting each other on three-way calls. We've heard that a lot tonight. Helping ship out product when we're on vacation. So we do that a lot on my team. A lot of us are close together, so that's super helpful. Supporting each other by carpooling to Drop Talk, sharing a room at a Connect event, or simply being a sounding board. Reaching out to our lines, if that's up, down, or across, and uplift each other, providing encouragement, and more importantly, avoiding negativity. So that's a goal for 2025. That's something I'm always focused on. The next thing is embrace discomfort and stretch your boundaries. In 2025, we're going to step out of our comfort zones. This means hosting our very own Drop Talks, Super Saturdays, doing lives on Facebook, approaching business owners and getting our product into salons and all kinds of businesses, attending corporate events, and so much more. Each of us are going to lead by example by taking these bold steps and helping our newest team members become comfortable with what it means to be a Partner Co team member. And then finally, and maybe most importantly, is treating your business like a business. So cultivating relationships with your brand partners, consistently supporting your customers, keeping your inventory well stocked, maintaining a professionalism, avoid devaluing our product. We shouldn't be giving away product. We shouldn't be over discounting product. We should be working together as a team to level up and take advantage of corporate promotions. And then finally, investing both our time and money wisely to grow our business. So that's going to be our focus for 2025.
I absolutely love all of that, Karen. Thank you so much for sharing with us tonight, and thank you for letting us learn from you. So next up, we have Julie, the Miss Dessert, and I'm so grateful for you being here, and we're just helping you with your challenge, lady. That's all I was doing of how I'm supporting you tonight. So thanks so much for being here, and I can't wait to learn from you.
You're so right, because I don't think it was on plan. So I'll just go quickly if I can. Thank you so much for having me, first of all, but so many good practical things on here. I'm just so excited about 2025. But the way that I want to approach my business this year is really two ways. The first way is to look at what I've done last year and to I've laid that foundation down, and I want to enjoy my success. I want to be able to step back and appreciate what has happened, because I really do. But sometimes I keep going so fast that I'm not breathing, I'm not resting. Hence my head cold, hence my little meltdown yesterday or today. But I just feel like I need to step back and I need to appreciate that and exercise gratitude. But secondly, this is something that I learned from Brent as well, is that, it's great to have that success. It's great to have that win, but, put that trophy away. And then this is a new year, right? So for me, I think it's really important that I'm looking at my business as a new business. That because we get so complacent. I know I do. I get complacent. I get lazy. I found that I'm not training as well as I used to. I find that I'm not doing the things that I used to. So I want to treat it, aspect of it as a new business. And I don't want to take things for granted. And I don't want to just ride on the surf on that success. So that means that I'm not going to just look at this, and I don't want to despise, how we say, don't despise small beginnings, but also don't despise the small things. Do the 7-day launch, do the SOG, do the little things that made my business successful. And so this year, what I did, I just launched, I just did my 7-day launch. I just did actually my 2 weeks now. I'm on week 2. I want to show my whole team that I do it too. And it's funny because I did that post that says, I'm so excited about my new adventure or whatever. We all do it. The top leaders are doing that. And so I need to do that too, but my team needs to see me doing that. So don't despise those small things because they will bring you great success. I promise you that. And then now, again, many people were talking about their team, but it really is, right? I'm going to really pour and connect and invest in my team. That is huge on my heart this year. I just know that that's what I'm supposed to do. Just as so many of you who are on this call right now have poured and invested in me, that is really my heart this year, is to do that. And I'm so excited about it. I've already got 17 trips planned, you guys. 17 trips. That's insane and mind blowing. But I'm being a good steward. I know Brent is probably sweating a little bit, like, come on. But I'm telling you, this is the way that it's supposed to be for me this year. And I'm running for it. And then last but not least, don't let your disappointments turn into discouragement. That's what I have to tell myself. Even this last check, right? I was looking at my check and I'm like, wah, wah, what? Right? And then but what am I going to do? Right. So what do I always do? I always like kind of go like, okay, I got to look at my tree and see what's going on and look at my volume and all this stuff. Right. But don't, disappointment happens when you have expectations. This is what Tammy taught me. I'm getting a lot of calls from people who are like, I'm so discouraged. I don't know if I can do this business and all that stuff. I totally get it. But if you focus on that and if you're dwelling on that, it becomes discouragement. And then it becomes emotional. And then it affects other areas of your life. And then you want to give up and you want to, everything looks gloomy, right? You get the Eeyore effect. But don't do that. And I have to tell myself this, right? Disappointment is temporary. Discouragement can last and impact you in so many ways. I'm not going to let that happen to me this year, right? So those are my tips and tricks. I want to talk a lot, but I love you all so much. I'm so honored to be able to be on here and speak to you guys. I think they saved me a piece of fruit tart, which I dropped, and it turned into pudding. So I'm gonna go and eat that now. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much, Julie. I appreciate you, and go enjoy your tart. You earned it.
I love you guys.
Love you too. So Miss Cynthia Bolden, you're up next. If you can unmute. No?
Oh, I can now. I kept saying the host wouldn't let me. Hello, everyone. So I am super excited and I am so thankful to be here. And I want to just share with you what's going on and what we're going to do in 2025. And I'm going to say some things and then I'm going to kind of put it together and so it all makes sense. The first thing came to mind is as we're building this business, we're taught to put the trophies under the bed and all that in 2024. But what I'm not going to put back is everything that I've learned and what was given to me so freely in 2024. We're carrying it in 2025. What do I mean by that? If you want to call Dr. Crystal right now a trophy, so be it. But she was right here in Oxford, Mississippi. And she laid some knowledge on us, and especially on me. By me being in a health food store and I've been in health and wellness for all of these years, I'm very strong in product. I'm very strong in making sure that person feels better. But what if I take that and transfer that in business and helping people become brand partners and creating what their whys are, being stronger in that. So that's what I mean by giving. And as I do it, guess what? Others would do it because they have something to follow. And one of the things I wrote down, creating an atmosphere where love is king. And what I mean by that is creating that atmosphere where love is king, because love answers all things. And if I'm paying attention to that, then that keeps out things that shouldn't be there. And when you lead that way, you know, people gravitate towards love. People are looking for that. And it's easy to correspond and help people build something when it's built in love, and love is king. Also, another thing is I want myself and the team to focus on seed growth. People always talk about, I want to grow, I want to grow, I want to grow. But if you focus on seed growth, when you plant a seed, you have to nurture the seed, you have to water the seed, you have to look, you know, you don't plant the seed and look at it most times and say, I hope that seed comes up. You have an expectation for it to come up. So when we look at seed growth from customers to brand partners, closing that gap, I wouldn't even dare tell you how many boxes of drops I've sold. But what I am going to tell you is I found almost, I'm sure I found about 90% of what was mailed out. So you can see that list is long. So do you see that seed, brand partner? And then I'm going to go call and say, hey, guess what? I know I helped you with your headache in this time or that time, but when you got that box of drops, I owe you something. And that's where that three-party, you know, that three-party validation and that 15-minute conversation can come up. And then they're going to do what? Go and tell others. So that's a good thing. And we hear this a lot, but it's like the best. To me, I'm kind of like Michelle McKay. We've heard what Coach said, and it's kind of like you have it. So it's kind of like that rinse and repeat. But then if you say it enough in love, it's activity. This is going to help mental health. Here you go. So I don't know if Coach knew he was in that world of mental health, but this is what it is. He always talks about, you know, do the activity. The activity creates volume, and the volume creates paychecks. But guess what? That creates good mental health, because you don't have yourself going up and down, up and down. You up when it's up, you down when it's down. But if you lead with love, and that's what we want to do, create an atmosphere of love where love draws, and people are so contagious to love. But when they come on the love and receive the love, they receive the play. You know what I mean? The system of growth. And then the next thing is focusing on kind of like slowing down to speed up. What do I mean by that? Slowing down. It's okay that if you spend an hour with your time getting somebody onboarded, you don't have to rush. I don't have to feel nervous. I don't have to feel, you know, those things like, oh, I just want them to get it. I just want them to get it. And I've been practicing that. And I just have one good example. Doesn't matter who it is, but we've been challenged to talk to influential people, people that, you know, everybody in the world of wellness and natural and herbs, we know that people have to eat, people have to drink. People are looking to be better and well, so why would we skip somebody? So I tried it out today. It was kind of I'm over here with Ole Miss, and I know, you know, I'm not into the coaching, don't know a lot about sports, but I do know the people because they come in the store. And just because they had a 7-figure income or whatever, I thought to myself, now I'm sweating bullets doing it. I really am today. But all I was supposed to do was get the appointment. And all I got was a look. And the look said, you know what? I like you. I think I'm going to call you tomorrow and see what you got. So, hey, still sweating, but hey, but we did it. So bottom line is led with love, build relationships, and just kind of putting what I learned to action, slowing it up, but with speed, because of course success loves speed, and kind of just like, okay, Cynthia and team, let's do this together. We're better together, and we can do this. So I'm looking very forward to taking 2025 to put as much emphasis on building people and a team as I did in actual, product knowledge. So that's where we are. And thank you so
Oh,
much.
I love that, Cynthia. Thank you. That's one I'm gonna have to watch the recording because I got half the notes and then I wasn't fast enough. So thank you so much. Great value. Greatly appreciate it. And we have a sneaky 2 on here. So Jason and Julie, I didn't think you guys were on. I was hunting, I couldn't find you. And then I found you. You snuck on as Cynthia. So please, if you wouldn't mind, Jason and Julie Bradshaw, if you can unmute and share with us tonight, I would appreciate it.
Yes, I had to let Andrea know that we were on Cynthia's iPad, but I was so thankful that she gave me the thumbs up because I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to follow Dr. Crystal. I did not want to do that. Andrea knows me, and I do not care where I am in the lineup. I'll be the first, the last, the middle. It doesn't matter, but I do not want to follow Dr. Crystal. No, I love you, Dr. Crystal, and I can't wait to hear all that you have to say. That's why I was nervous about doing that. I think, first thing, being in this industry for so long and seeing and being not only seen, but being a part of companies who have started out and then gone into momentum and just seeing where we're at with this company, I'm so excited for where we're at and what we're going to do in 2025. And I think that, part of that is Brent keeps saying, let the failures and the successes of yesterday be where they're at, right? Leave them in there. Those are yesterday's successes, yesterday's failures. It's about today. It's a new day. It's a new year. And it's about having tunnel vision and running and knowing where we're at and where we're headed. And what we build now is just going to, we're just starting that snowball. And if we start building it, then when we finally hit momentum, it's just going to be, that's when you're going to build a legacy business that you just can't even wrap your mind around. But for me, it's just having that tunnel vision, running straight out of the gate. We were this past Sunday, we were at the Super Sunday that Michelle and Sheila put on. It was a power pack training event. Thank you for that. It took away so many nuggets and insights from that event. We turned around, we were at a drop talk that I did in Laurel, Mississippi. We had a packed out event there, had nearly 100% sign up, and the 2 or 3 people that did not enroll left with boxes. So it was just a fantastic event. We've had people here at the house onboarding them on boards this evening. Now we're on this Zoom. And these types of events like this Zoom and like the Super Sunday, I consider those IPAs. I consider those income producing activities. If you do not put into practice what you take away, then it's not an income producing activity. But if you are feeding your mind and feeding your spirit with what all of these leaders have to say, and I'm telling you, I'm blown away with all of the things that I've been hearing tonight. I have so much new information to work on and to go out and to put into practice. If you put it into practice, this is an income producing activity, right? Because you have to have training. You have to develop the skill sets that it takes to get to where you want to go. And so I guess for me, and it's not about me, but it starts with me, right? So it's a new day, it's a new year. I want to be more intentional. And the things that I'm going to do are also things that I'm rolling out to my team, that I'm teaching my team, because I want to lead by example. And the things that I'm rolling out to them and teaching them, I want to see that I'm also doing that. And so, because we're all going to get there together. But for starters, and I'll be quick because I know we're towards the end of the call. But for starters, I'm going to get back to the basics, right? The system works if you work the system. I'm going to get back to the basics of, just the posting and the follow-up. But in addition to that, I'm going to begin to increase my exposure, right? Through posting more, like Tammy talks about, posting 4 to 8 times a day. Now, when I have a new person that comes on board, I start them out at 2 times a day. I get them comfortable with that system. And then after they get comfortable with posting 2 times a day, then it's time to step up the game and go to the next level, right? And so I'm going to be increasing my exposure through posting 4 to 8 times a day. I'm going to be doing more reels. I'm going to start doing lives. I think there's a training on lives tomorrow on the IPA call. I'm going to be increasing my engagements with my online audience. And also, I'm going to be increasing the number of online connections that I make. You know, Tammy was talking about how that she adds 20 friends a day on Facebook. And so, you know, when you're first starting out, you may not be at that place where you're adding 20 friends a day. But as you begin to move through the system and you get comfortable with it, you need to increase the number of online connections that you make. And I'm not just going to be intentional with getting back to the basics online, but I'm also going to be intentional with getting back to the basics offline. I'm going to make my list like we used to do. Ashley Paulson talked about, and she talked about this the other day, but someone also mentioned it on the call today, getting out that memory jogger, writing down your contacts, getting out your phone, and writing those contacts down and being intentional about following up with those people and just reaching out to them and opening up your mouth. And I'm going to be intentional about listening to the people around me and what they're saying and what their needs are. And once again, opening my mouth and sharing with them what we have to offer. I'm not going to focus on the volume like Brent says. I'm going to focus on the activity that creates the volume, right? And so I'm going to get off the volume report and be more intentional and focused on the activity that's driving that volume, and it will take care of itself. Another thing that Brent has taught us that I have picked up on in the past few weeks is I want to make sure that the new brand partners that are coming on my team, that I walk them through and hold their hand through their first 4 Fridays, right? To get them to ultimate and make sure that they are comfortable with the system and comfortable with doing the activity that they need to do to drive their success. And I'm going to do that whether they enroll on a 30-pack or not, whether they start out as ultimate or not. I'm going to treat every single new brand partner as someone who needs to get to ultimate. And I'm going to walk them through 1,500 points in their first 4 Fridays and get them comfortable with doing that and get them duplicating that with their teams. I have always said, what is that saying? Oh, I apologize. That was saying something about raising my hand. I have always said, you know, in 30 years in this industry, I do not gauge a person's success by their paycheck. I gauge a person's success by the paychecks of the people on their team. Your paycheck does not impress me. What impresses me is how many people on your team are earning checks, right? And so I hold that same standard to myself. I'm not going to gauge my success based upon how much I'm increasing my paycheck by the activity that I'm doing. I'm going to gauge my success by how many people are hitting, you know, vice president, senior officer, and, you know, and above. I want to walk people through those pin ranks and help them get there. And I'm going to gauge my success by how many people I'm taking across the stage with me. And if someone is not having, if I see a leader on my team, or I see someone that really wants this and that is putting in the effort and doing the work, and I see that they are not getting the results that they want, I am going to have that conversation with them, and we're going to identify what's causing that, right? We're going to get to the root of the problem, and we're going to correct that. And we're going to get them to where they want to go. And, you know, I'm also going to focus, and this is a personal goal, I'm going to focus on optimizing the current pay lines that I currently have, okay? And I do have some lines that are optimizing every week, but I'm going to focus on optimizing every current pay line that I have. And I'm going to do that by helping the leaders in those lines do the same, right? And achieve their goals and increase their paychecks. And once I've done that, once I've optimized those lines by helping those workers get to where they want to go, then I'm going to go out there and I'm going to create new lines of business, right? I'm going to start expanding my pay lines. And so basically in closing, just staying focused on the pulse of my business, bringing on new blood, and teaching others to do the same by simply working the system, running the play. And as Brent has been teaching, and as Michelle pointed out, that was wonderful, wonderful information, Michelle, thank you. But I'm going to work every step of the pipeline that Brent rolled out to us and that you talked about, and I'm going to teach that pipeline. So that's all that I have. Mother wanted to share one quick thing that
I think he's covered it all.
Well, you said that you tell him about your live.
Yeah, I'm just on the sideline.
No, but Mother
Root him on.
Mother wants to learn how to do lives, and that
yes, just been listening to the IPA calls, and everyone's encouraged everybody to step outside the box, get out of your comfort zone, so
she says that I monitor her social media, and that is true. Everything does have to run through an approval process.
We're kind of getting that impression, Jason.
But I am okay with her learning to do live, so we're going to work on that for her. So that's all that we have.
But I also, listen to everybody tonight. Just, I don't want to just go back with the same list. It's just encouragement to know the things that we need to do to step up the game. Another thing that promote events. When I leave one event and I see the next one, I'm already talking, let's get to the next one. Mark your calendars, promote, because once you take them in the living room, then you take them to a hotel, then you take them to a corporate, it opens up such more,
gives them more vision
and more faith in the company. And so my goal is to get as many people on my team to Destin. And I challenge everyone else to do the same, because
that's the question I get every single morning when she calls me. How many people's on the list for Destin? How many people's on the list for Destin? So, but we're doing it.
Good job, Julie.
Yes. So anyway, like I said, my goal is just to learn more about the products and learning how to do these reels and live videos.
Good deal.
Beautiful. Thank you both so much. Beautiful information. And with that, now it's time. So nobody wanted to go behind you, Crystal. So you've got the floor. And thank you so much for being on here tonight. I'm so grateful to have you and can't wait to learn from you this evening.
Oh my goodness. I had time to put some makeup on, Andrea. Oh my goodness. What an incredible night. Like, wow. I think you see it, like there's so much overlay, but at the same time, it's like such good reminders. And my number one thing that I put on my list, and I can't even tell you how many of these people said it, was back to the basics. That is my number one thing. But in doing that back to the basics, like what's the basics? What are the basics? Like, what are the things that have worked for you? And what are the things that haven't? And so getting back to, for me, is hosting. We know the system of growth works. We know that if you do it for 7 days in a row and you do it exactly like it's planned to be done, you're going to, on average, move 10 boxes of drops if you did an encouragement post and you went live before you did it. So who needs 10 new people for leads? And if that's you, then you know exactly what to do tonight. That's your basic. You got to do the basics. Like, why do you think you're going to have success here without doing the basics?
because we want to be able to duplicate us. And if nobody knows what to duplicate, well, then you don't get duplication. So back to the basics. The other thing that I did for 2025 is I have my word of the year, and I'm keeping it in front of me daily. Because what's the point of the word if you don't look at it daily and use that word as like it's intentional? So my word is upgrade. So literally every day I'm going back to the previous day and going, what could I have done differently and upgraded it? How could I have upgraded? How could I have shown up upgraded? How could my performance have been upgraded, right? Like there's always room for growth. Number 2, do you know what my number 2 one is? This stupid thing, this calendar, I don't trust it. I swear I put it in there. It gets deleted. It's in the wrong time zone. I don't trust it. So you know what I did? I went and got me the big planner. And I'm literally putting my whole life back in a planner. Well, I got a lot going on, so I needed a big planner. So I found this planner. And look, I'm back to old school. I can look at my day and go, I got this, this, and this. Things aren't falling through the cracks now. And it's big enough, and I can read it, that I'm not forgetting things. I can put the little things in there that maybe I wasn't putting in Google. The scratcher, I'm gonna put this, oh, now I lost my notes. Okay, hold on. All right. So I got my calendar and I've got my personal life scheduled into it because you need a life, right? You got to have a life. Palmer, get a life. We got to have a life, right? I'm always beating him up. Like, what are you doing today that's like life? And then our business becomes our life. And so we're getting better at it, right, BP? We're getting better at it. My number 3 thing that I did with my calendar, like literally my calendar is driving my activity. My life isn't driving my activity. My calendar is driving my activity. I am driving my activity. I get to choose what to put in the calendar, what's important to put in the calendar. And so when I was doing that, I identified not who I wanted to build with. I identified where I needed to build. Then you find the who. And when I'm building, look, it's simple. This is a business of moving volume. We have a system of growth that moves volume. Do you know what I need? Now this is this is business, Crystal. This isn't Crystal with her big old heart. Because yes, lead with love. But money follows value. I have to create the most value in that area that I identified where I need to build. So what value can I create in that area? Do you know what I need in any line? If you have a line right now that is a goose egg, you're like big old 0. You're like, I don't like my volume this week. Do you know what you need? 9 ultimates. You need 9 ultimates. Do you know how you get an ultimate? You take a brand new person and you help them get the system of growth and you run them through it and you stick and stay with them and they're going to use the system to hit ultimate. 9 ultimates optimizes a line. And the first week, you might have none. And the second week, you might have none. But the third week, you might have 2 or 3. And then the more people that come on board, you have more and more ultimates. And that's how you optimize lines. But I got to go create value with those people. And that drives my money up. Value is the activity. So I looked and identified where I needed to work. And so I enroll someone. And what is my basic? I got to schedule here's my basics from way back. 2 events. I got to help them launch. I don't have a bunch of people who didn't hit ultimate. I have a bunch of people who failed to launch. So I go back and I go, who do I need to give another opportunity to launch? And so I'm going to make sure they have a live event if they'll do one, and a Zoom event if they'll do one. But I need one in the first 7 to 10 days that they decide to launch. And I need one 10 to 20 days from this day they launch. That's the basics. Launch someone. I'm going to schedule my SOG. I'm going to get on the calls. Brent Palmer, shut up. Even I don't want to get on them. I can always find something to do. But you can't. You gotta. I don't wanna. You gotta. Okay? You gotta. And the number 5 thing that I decided to do was move. Move in to the area that needed my help. Okay, now let me explain that. You don't have to move to your market that you're growing and building, but not physically, but mentally, you do. I can't work with one person. I got to find the person and say, give me 2 people. I got to find the 2 people and get them help, get them launched. I got to get underneath them, say, give me 2 people. And we just keep going 2 by 2 and keep driving it down. And you might say, I don't want to do all that. You don't have to, but somebody does. Todd Rowland taught me that one. You don't have to do all of this, but somebody has to do it. But here's the thing, the person that creates the most value creates the most money. So I'll go serve the masses. I'll go do all the things that other people don't want to do to have the life that I want in 2025. So there's my 5.
Mic drop. Thank you so much, Crystal. That was a beautiful close. Sorry, Coach, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say I sit here and I was on the road listening in before I got here to where I could get live on sit down. I'm blown away. These are your top leaders. These are your power rankers. These are your people sharing wisdom. And as I sit here tonight, I'm just overwhelmed because, yeah, it's late. Yeah, it's a lot going on. But this is our life. Like, this is our future. We're in a $350 million startup company headed to $1 billion. And we all have the same opportunity to go grab the market share. And that's what Crystal's saying. Like somebody's going to. If not you, who? If not when, if not now, when? When are you? There's a lady on this Zoom tonight. She knows who she is. She escaped something that most of us, I'm going to try to keep it together, will never have to go through. She escaped a country. And she sees this opportunity and she's running for it. She had to figure out a way to sign up. She can't get products. She don't have the opportunity that Dale Diffie does, or I have, or Mary Catherine has. But she sees this opportunity. And I want to read you a chat. She said, the most important thing here is what we are achieving. We're literally changing lives. Thank you for giving me a wonderful opportunity to be a part of this family. I will give it my very best. You know what time it is for her? It's in the middle of the morning. You know what she does for a living? She's a doctor. not in the United States, not in North America, but she's going after this opportunity. And when I look at that, I go, man, so many times Brent Palmer's so stinking shallow. I got my problems. I got my issues. Corporate didn't post this. And then I got somebody across the way fighting for what I take for granted. And tonight, what this was, it reminded me that this is the truest form of capitalism, ladies and gentlemen. We all pay $29.95 to be a part of this. Some will change their family's life with it, and some will complain for what it didn't give them.
Mm.
My goal tonight is that we all sit here in this call to start 2025, and we realize this is the launching pad. We're all at the same place for the trophies this year. What are we going to do with this amazing opportunity we've been given? Thank you for tonight. This was very, very impressive that you stayed on, you valued this, and our leaders in the company, you guys stepped up to the table and said, I want to share from my heart how I'm launching my business. I am so grateful for you, and I'm so blessed to be partnered with you. Special group of people. Money's great, products are great, but I'll tell you this, I want to spend the rest of my life with like-minded people like you. Grateful for you. Andrea, thanks for putting all this together. Great call tonight. We'll get
Thank
the
you so
recording up.
We'll get it up as soon as we can. I love each and every one of you. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you for all of our speakers that blessed us, absolutely blessed us this evening. I know it's long, and every single second was so valuable. Oh, somebody put me up there. That was scary for a second, but I love you guys. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you for sticking with us, and have a blessed 2025. This is going to be a big year. Guys.
Thank you so much.